Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 1 of our F1 2021 fantasy video. Obviously if you missed out on the pre-season video, first of all a massive thank you to all of you guys that did watch that video. It is done incredibly well. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. It's got like over 5,000 views already, which I was really surprised by. So yeah, again, a massive thank you to all of you guys that did obviously click on that video, enjoyed that video, and then also, of course, that have joined the league. Now, obviously, the league will be open throughout the entirety of this season. So if you missed out on that video, you didn't manage to get in for the Bahrain Grand Prix, the link to the league will still be down in the description below. There's already over 300 of you involved in it as well, which is absolutely insane in my eyes as well. You know, if we could get it towards, I'd like to believe we could get it towards 500 by the end of the year as well. You know, that's sort of like the little aim I've got in my mind. So obviously, if you aren't already involved in the league, I would definitely make sure that you get yourself in, obviously, for future races as well. Obviously, the Bahrain Grand Prix, though, I'm not going to talk too much about it here, obviously, in an in-depth analysis. Obviously, Jamie and I will hopefully have our Bahrain Grand Prix review video going live tomorrow. So obviously, make sure if you aren't already, get yourself subscribed for that. It is going to be a very good video as well. But obviously, we're jumping into the Fantasy League here today. But quickly, yeah, I mean, what a race that was from the Bahrain Grand Prix. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but if you have missed the race, and for whatever reason you're watching this already, go back and check it out first of all. It was an insane season opener, I'll be honest, for raw on-track action, which is kind of what you want rather than just the typical reliability carnage that you get in the first race of the new season. It was really good as well. Then obviously today we're going to be talking about our fantasy drivers as well, so there will be a few spoilers for those guys. But yeah, make sure you get yourself involved as well. Then obviously we've only rocking one team so far. I'm probably going to set up Team 2 and Team 3 ready for the next video. Obviously we've got 3 weeks ready before Imola next time out. So obviously we should have that all sorted ready for then. I might do it at the end of this video. I might just do it behind the scenes. Normally we sort of try and do 2 proper teams and a bit of a meme team as well there as well. But yeah, you can see 138 points, which when I looked at that, I thought was really good. Except for obviously Pierre Gasly. Now obviously Hamilton, brilliant day out. You know, he walked away with that. Well, I say walked away with it. He certainly had to fight for that race victory at the end of the day there, but he got the job done. Lando Norris, a fantastic P4 for McLaren as well there. George Russell, unfortunately, yeah, Williams still struggling with the race pace. He is the one that I'm considering already removed from the team, but I might give him a couple more weeks just to see how he fares. Carlos Sainz as well had a fairly, I mean, it wasn't a bad showing for Ferrari to start the season, but I'm sure it wasn't quite as good as he would have wanted. Obviously, a lot of the talk was about Charles Leclerc early on in the Grand Prix. And then we moved to Pierre Gasly, who I forgot I'd put on my turbo driver and was the only one that did really badly. I'm amazed he even walked away with any points, I'll be honest. Obviously, we doubled his score, and he got 2 points, which was not good for us, unfortunately, at the end of the first weekend of the year. So, yeah, unfortunately, that contact he had with, I think it was Daniel Ricciardo, if I'm not mistaken. It was definitely one of the McLarens. I'm pretty certain it was Ricciardo at the start of the Grand Prix. Obviously got that front wing damage, and unfortunately I was never really able to recover from it as well. And of course McLaren as well, having an absolute worldie with Lando Norris up there in P4. And then I think Ricciardo was 6th or 7th at the end of the day. We'll have a quick look in just a moment as we jump into the league there. But yeah, having a look then, obviously, at the leagues, we'll head over to our join section. 310 of you involved, and I thought my score of 138 was quite good. Apparently not. 254th out of 310. You guys have absolutely rinsed me at the start of the season. I mean, it's pretty consistent across most leagues. I'm sort of in the bottom quarter, unfortunately. We're 490,000th worldwide. 121st, 121st,000th in the UK, 98,000th in the Mercedes League, and then, yeah, 254th in our own, which sounds a lot better than the other ones, but, yeah, not quite the first weekend of the year that I was hoping for. Having a look, though, obviously, at our league, then, unfortunately, there seems to be a bit of a bug with F1 Fantasy. I know a couple of people have already messaged me saying they think they're last. No, I don't think so. Unless, of course, you are 310th. For some reason, it won't let you scroll past your own team. I think they're having a few issues with it still early on in the season there. But yeah, they won't let you scroll below your own team. So unfortunately, I can't see anyone that did worse than me in the opening weekend of the season. But I'm guessing if you did, you probably had both Haas cars, Haas, Alonso, Vettel, and, well, probably Gasly or Latifi, because obviously neither of them did actually make it to the end of the Grand Prix. It wasn't mentioned, though. I noticed that. There was no talk about the fact that Gasly and Latifi, I'm pretty certain, both retired at the end of the race there. But yeah, scrolling back up, though, to our top team, it is YT, his third team. Not even his first or his second team, his third team is currently on top with 266 points after the opening weekend of the year. Now, he did use his Mega driver, so, I mean, if we'd used Hamilton as our Mega, we would have had about 228 points, which would have left us within the top 15 at the end of the first week. Obviously, for those of you guys that aren't aware, your Mega driver gets you 3 times points for one weekend. It's quite a big gamble to use. But yeah, obviously, I mean, if you can do it at a track you think, say, for example, Hamilton or Verstappen, you adamant is going to win it, obviously use it then. If you haven't got either of those two, you're taking a big gamble, the way I see it, I'll be honest. But yeah, so let's have a look then at Wyatt's Team 3, who tops the scoring at the end of the first weekend. Mega driver Hamilton, very good choice. Turbo driver Lando Norris as well. So straight off the bat, those are the 2 best choices I think you could have made at the start of the season there. He's also got Sainz like ourselves, who didn't do particularly... Again, he didn't do badly, Carlos Sainz, considering it was first weekend in Ferrari there, but obviously didn't score too many points. Ocon as well had a pretty quiet day of it, and then Kimi Räikkönen as well scored 12 points for him, as well as Mclaren there. So had we turboed Lando Norris, we would have got a lot more points on the board. I think we would be on 165, if I'm not mistaken, which again, yeah, would have really thrown us right up the order there. But obviously Mega Driver and Hamilton probably looked like quite a gamble, I'll be honest, after qualifying. Probably might have been regretting that one just a little bit. Why? I'll be honest. Let me know if you're watching this video down in the comments below, sort of how you were feeling after qualifying. But yeah, you have absolutely finessed it with those two as your Mega and your Turbo driver there. The rest of the team, again, pretty mediocre. McLaren obviously scoring some good points as well, but a very, very good job by Wyatt, who leads at the end of week 1. Obviously, let me know down in the comments below which teams your guys are. Obviously, if you want me to have a look at it as well. Obviously, I'll try and make sure I go through as many teams as possible. But again, I'm not just going to click through every single team, seeing who's done what. Next up then is Hamilton and the lads, ran by Karan H on 265 points. So again, Hamilton, Norris, Turbo and Mega Driver. That is the key to scoring big points in week 1, it appears. Gasly as well, like myself. A bit of a rip. Schumacher scored 11 points, despite having a mare and pretty much not being seen on the footage after he span on lap 2 or 3 of the Grand Prix there. Charles Leclerc, actually, again, had a really, really good weekend of it. And then, of course, McLaren as well there. So I feel like we've actually not picked a bad roster. We just need to change our turbo driver around a bit and obviously use our Mega driver when I feel is appropriate as well. But again, another very, very solid team there. A lot of similarities. You know, you got 3 of the same there, but obviously Leclerc instead of Sainz, Schumacher instead of Räikkönen, and then Gasly instead of... Who was it? Ian Wyatt's team. It was... Ocon, sorry. I had forgotten about as well there. Triple kill team 2 coming through in P3 then by Gethin J. I'm sorry, I'm definitely butchering every name in this one. Again, Hamilton Mega Driver, Norris Turbo Driver, Gasly, Russell and Sainz. So again, 3 not particularly big hitters there, and then obviously McLaren once more. So he's basically got the same team as me. He just turboed Norris and Mega Driver Hamilton. So we could have done really well. Had honestly, I looked back on that video that I did and suddenly remembered that I'd not turboed, because I ummed and ahed between Norris and Gasly, and I thought I'd gone with Norris and thought I've absolutely finessed this week 1. We have smashed it out of the park. And then remembered at the last minute I decided to change it to Gasly because AlphaTauri looks so strong in winter testing. Gasly could have probably come like 5th or 6th still, I reckon, had the car worked out for him, had he not obviously got that front wing damage. But it is what it is. 23 races ahead of us. It's still a very, very long season to be worrying about that. Further down the order, though, let's have a look at our top non-Mega Driver team then. Let's see who is top of that. It is Napoli F2 team by Omar Oguz. Again, I'm butchering your name. I apologise. He has gone with Bottas. Interesting. Oh, he's gone with Mercedes, though. That was quite clever by him. So he's sort of saved a lot of money on his team, on his drivers even, I should say, but gone with Mercedes there, with Lando Norris, like I said, with Valtteri Bottas there. Ocon, Tsunoda and Russell. Tsunoda had a very good weekend of it as well. There's no taking that away from him. Again, Ocon and Russell pretty quiet. But we're seeing a big theme of Norris being people's turbo drivers. So we're definitely going to have to look into that ready for next weekend there. Obviously, Mercedes as well. Yeah, big gamble by him. Again, maybe after Saturday, you might have been regretting that, but they pulled through at the end of the day and probably got the best result they could have there when all is said and done. So you can see quite a few people there. Actually, Marcel F tied with him. Has he gone with exactly the same roster? Yes, he has. So exactly the same roster there by Marcel F. And then we got Barack P just behind him there. He went Red Bull, Verstappen, Turbo Norris, like everyone apart from myself seems to have done. And then obviously Tsunoda, Leclerc, and Esteban Ocon as well there. Then we got Owen Team 1. Has he gone with the same? No, he hasn't. Hamilton and Red Bull. Lando Norris Turbo. And then Tsunoda, Russell and Schumacher as well there. Let's have a look further down the order. Oh, that wasn't good by Gethin. Uses Mega Driver and still being down in the mid-pack. Who did he Mega Driver? Oh, he Mega Drivered Sainz. Why, man? Why did you do it to yourself? Oh, that's not good. You didn't want to do that. Turbo Tsunoda. That's risky in the first weekend of the season. I'm guessing this is just your attempt at trying to score massive points where you can, but probably not having the best season sort of all together. Any other sort of surprises then as we look further down the roster? I don't think so. I'm pretty certain now everyone below obviously didn't use their Mega Driver there, so no one absolutely wasted it. I should have Mega Drivered Pierre Gasly, I reckon, based on how poor he did for me at the end of the day there. And you can see me right down the order, 254th out of the 310 of us there. Let's have a look at the guy just above me. Jake C with Jake Team 3. Bottas, Turbo, Sainz, Verstappen, Gasly, Russell, and then of course McLaren as well. They're another good roster. So having a look then at the championship. Let's see. Obviously, we know what the real standings are like. Obviously, we can see there Mazepin, Alonso, Vettel, Schumacher, Russell, Raikkonen, Ocon. That's not in the right order. The lower than the points is definitely not the right way around, but we won't worry about that too much. Obviously, Hamilton on top, Verstappen and Bottas there. Fantasy points, though. Obviously, Hamilton picking up the 45, of Max Verstappen 35 there, just ahead of Bottas there. Lando again, he was definitely the man to turbo this weekend. Obviously, you couldn't turbo Perez and he scored less points than Lando Norris there, but it's still a good job in P5. Charles Leclerc in 6th, Tsunoda actually in 7th place, so ahead of Ricciardo, Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel in 10th. He rear-ended Ocon. How has he managed to get that many points? He got more than Ocon and he rear-ended him. That surely isn't on. Sainz down in 12th, and then you can see the rest of your order there. Mazepin picking up -14, Alonso picking up -8 as well. That was not what those guys needed at the start of the season. Constructors-wise, though, yeah, Mercedes, were definitely the team to pick as well. They're ahead of Red Bull and McLaren there. Ferrari picking up some good points ahead of Aston, AlphaTauri, Alpine, Alfa Romeo there. Haas did somehow walk away with positive points still, despite both of their drivers bidding it before lap 3, and then Williams still came last overall. Obviously because George Russell's good at qualifying and then tends to go a bit backwards in the Grand Prix as well there. But there we go then. That is week 1 of our F1 2021 Fantasy League. Like I said, make sure you guys let me know how well your team is getting on. Obviously, if I didn't feature it in the video, let me know what your guys' teams are as well. Now, ready for Imola. Do I change around part of our team? Let's go and manage it. Now, I don't want... Oh, I've got rid of Norris. I didn't want to do that. Where's me Norris? Yes, please. Can I unturbo Pierre Gasly? That's what I want to do. So we can turbo anyone any week. So we are going to go next weekend. Well, next weekend. Imola, obviously, quite an aero-orientated circuit. So McLaren were looking good down the straights as well there. But I can't help but feel they might be a bit better than Ferrari through the corners because it is really Norris or Sainz that I want to turbo ready for next weekend. I would consider doing George Russell, but that seems like a bit of a gamble too much this early on in the season. I think everyone now, obviously after racing at Imola last year where it was a bit crazy, everyone this year is probably going to be a whole lot more careful with it as well. So we are only going to change our turbo over to Lando Norris. I don't think we've got 2.2 million in the budget, so we could put Stroll in ahead of Gasly, but I just don't have much faith in McLaren at the in Aston Martin even, I should say, at the start of the season there. So our value, no one has changed money either. And you can see, obviously, the only activity change we're going to be doing is putting Lando Norris in as our turbo driver then. So hopefully as we get ready for Imola next time out, it will work out a little bit better for us. I think we've still got a good roster, though. I think Gasly, if he doesn't lose his front wing, could still score some good points for us. Let me know as well down in the comments if what drivers you would consider changing if you were me. Obviously, I'm really, really intrigued to know your thoughts and feelings as well, ready for next weekend. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Like I said, there will hopefully be the Bahrain Grand Prix review with Jamie going live tomorrow as well. Very, very excited to be jumping into that one. But yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with another video. A big thank you to our channel members for making these videos possible. You can be featured in these end clips as well as granted access to some other exclusive perks for just £1 a month by clicking the join button below.